Hey everybody, I'm going to be making one of my favorite comfort foods, which is meatloaf. Mine is extremely plain because that's how I grew up eating meatloaf. You can add whatever you want to it, but mine is literally just ground beef, an egg, some ketchup, and crushed up saltines. And I'm gonna go easy on the sides because I don't feel like making. I was gonna make some roasted potatoes, but instant potatoes work perfect for me. Some green beans. I found this gravy. I usually get packets, but this was like 50 cents on markdown. So, can't pass that sort of deal up, but let's get cooking. Okay, I got my meat. I'm gonna crush up my crackers. You could put them in a food processor or probably a Ziploc and crush them. That way it'd be a lot easier, but it's also more work, and this is probably really loud. So I'm going to be right back once I get these all crushed up in the bag, and we'll get going from there. Okay, personally I like them a little chunky. I'm not too worried about it being fine crunched. I use like 2/3 of the bag. You can always add more. Your egg. Because 1 egg per 1 pound of beef or whatever ground meat you have usually does the trick, in case you didn't know. That's really the only part of the recipe that I actually have is just that. It's a pound of meat and a pound of meat and 1 egg, 3/4 of these are crackers, ketchup. I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper just because, even though there's a lot of salt on the saltines, you could literally just have no seasoning and it tastes just fine. I'm gonna mix it with my hand because that's what I got, and it's faster. Okay, I might need more ketchup. We'll see in a second. Oops. You could add whatever you want. You could add onion in here, or you could add some Worcestershire, or whatever you like, but anytime I try to add something into my meatloaf, I always regret it because it doesn't taste right. So, I'm gonna have to go left-handed here for a second. You just go until it's not quite solid, a little slimy. And that's it. That's all my meatloaf is. 'Cause I'm not fancy. I really feel like it. I'll get my apple cider vinegar out and throw some on top after it's cooked. I greased the loaf pan because it's meatloaf. My chunks of crackers. Yeah, if you don't like chunks, you can always throw it in a food processor when you don't have chunks. And it doesn't poof up as bad, I've noticed, if you push them down the side, because it can cook past the side and it'll help it separate from the side a bit. Alright, clean hands. And the last thing I do, you don't have to, but I think it makes it look pretty, is put a little design on top with the ketchup. If you liked at the end, you could just coat the thing in ketchup. But I like the way it cooks in, just because it gives it a little extra flavor. And then if I feel like having more ketchup at the end, I can just throw it on top while I'm eating it. But I have my oven preheating to 350. This is gonna go in, since it's just a pound and it's only like that thick, for about 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, depending on how it cooks. And then you just check it after about 30 minutes and make sure it's not gonna burn, because you don't want an overcooked meatloaf, because they're dry as crap if you overcook it. And then I'll make my sides, which will be quick and easy since they're all out of cans and packets and stuff. Well, my meatloaf is done. It looks pretty good if I do say so myself. I don't have any extra, I don't have any extra grease or anything on the edge, so it must have been lean enough meat. Just gonna let it sit for like 10 minutes to cool off a bit, and then I'll slice it. I usually get like 4 or 5 servings out of it, plus my sides, and that's what I'll be eating for the week. Okay, here's my finished plate of food. Easy peasy, nothing fancy, just good home cooking. Well, semi-home cooking, because the only thing I really made was the meatloaf. But that's okay. You don't have to make every single part of a meal to make it a home-cooked meal. It's still going to be good. It's still going to fill my stomach. Since my kid doesn't eat the sort of stuff, it's for me, and I will have, I think, 4 meals for the week that I can just warm up. I'll put them in little containers with a little bit of everything, and I will thoroughly enjoy it. I hope you like my little video. If you do, you can toss me a subscribe and a like or whatever. If not, I will catch you next time. Later.